Hey, Angel.
Yeah.
Why don't you start your show?
Alrighty. Well, thanks to that delay. Thanks to yours truly.
I need some.
Yeah.
Do you have any music to open up your show with?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to switch over to. I was just, getting on my own self here.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
He was vamping. All right.
Yeah.
Let's turn up.
It feels good to see the world getting loose. Feels good to see the world getting loose. I don't know about you, Sack Noel. I don't know about you, Phenom. I don't know about you, White Shadow. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I'm 2+2, I'm for show. You down, I'm down, baby, let's go. You stop, you drop, baby, then roll. You twerk, you pop, booty so swole. I'd hate me too if I were you. And when it comes to billions, I'll take two. It's only one life, you don't get two. So live life, don't let it live you.
I got a pocket full of $100 bills. Put on a jacket, cause these diamonds give you chills. 2 shots I'm running, 2 out I'm stunning tonight. Yeah. Look in the mirror, I'm like, who the hell is he? So many whips and cribs, I'm losing track of keys. Ooh, up to something. Ooh, yeah, I love it, alright. Oh,
yeah. I'm drinking out the bottle. Get loose, hanging with supermodels. Get loose, feel like I hit the lotto. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you.
And yes, it is the start of a new year. The start of a different way to start the show. It was a lot of starts. And that being said, welcome to Martinez Company from 6 to 8 p.m. here live Monday through Friday as we are back from the break. And it actually feels good to be back from the break. Sometimes you tend to forget how much you miss doing what you do. And I love what I do, and therefore it makes it a lot more fun. And we thank you all. We all hope that you had a great Christmas break to New Year's break, that you got everything that you wanted and you have fun and you enjoyed it and just all the good things that are in life. We hope that you are blessed with a great 2024. And as Pete Shepard said this morning on the Pete Shepard Show, we can all say Happy New Year's till about the 5th. And then after a while, well, it gets kind of old. No offense. But if you're new to the show, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And for those who listen on the app, everyone got a new little visualization to the show as I change things up because even my co-host has this buzz look like, hey, what the heck just happened there? Rich, how are you, senor?
Angel, ¿qué tal, mi hermano? I feel like you are like the incredible shrinking Angel Martinez.
Yeah, well, I changed up the camera angle for the moment. I have one camera decided to go default, so I had to make sure that the backups, I got to make the backups work, and that's just the way it works. But either way, it doesn't matter. I'll get all focused in. So for those who missed it, by the way, again, different intro. What you guys heard in the very beginning for those listening on the apps is that Miss Robin, when we were first testing things out, one of the very first shows, and Pete Shepard actually was nice enough to grace himself to be on with me, and I appreciate Pete as always. But the one big thing was to make sure that I had the audio of Miss Robin and Tony saying, hey, do you guys have any music? And yes, we do. And that's the launch of I Feel Good with Pitbull. So that's how that got started. And there's the new intro. So for those who watch on the social medias, you guys will be able to watch the replay, see the very beginning, and then you'll see exactly what we're talking about. So 2 smaller cameras will start at the very beginning, and then the picture will enlarge and look a lot bigger. So I did see you kind of squirming around there, seeing like, hey, can I fit in this picture?
I just feel like I can literally just grab you and stick you in my pocket.
Just put it right here.
Right now. I just feel like, we're just trying to find our way back home. Hey, by the way, Happy New Year to you, brother.
Yeah, no, Happy New Year. It was a busy week. Actually, Dylan's going to be on at 7 o'clock with me as well. We're going to recap the LSU-Wisconsin game. That was a lot of fun. It was a busy weekend. It was fun at the beach. Some people came dressed like it was the middle of winter. Some people, obviously from Wisconsin, most of them came with shorts and t-shirt because they figured out, man, it's so much warmer here than it would be in Wisconsin. So we had a lot of fun. So we're going to be talking about that at 7 o'clock hour. Thanks to Reliaquest Bowl, which I have matter of fact, I have to have the producer bring it in so I can wear the official one around the neck there. I feel like I was christened when I went there, but it was a great time. Thanks to Mike Schultz and a lot of those people out there just who did a phenomenal job. I can't thank them enough. So that was a lot of fun. So 7 o'clock, we'll have Dylan on and we'll go over exactly what ended up happening throughout the game. Also, heavy on the comments here. Brian, let's go. Happy New Year's, fellas. Glad to see Q. So is everyone else out there. Joey B, let's fucking go. Yes, listen, just because it's a new year, by the way, and yes, because we are on LinkedIn and everywhere you can imagine, including the apps, it doesn't mean that things will get trend. I read it as I see it. As Rich always says, I'm like, what was it? Who's my guy, Ron Burgundy?
Ron Burgundy, you read everything off. That's a bad thing right there, man. That's a bad habit. You read everything off the teleprompter. I just feel like I need to keep coming closer because I just want to go like this. Look, I can squish you. I can squish you. But, by the way, that's good.
Yeah.
So Dylan gives me the reprieve just for tonight. I mentioned so the audience knows with a couple of remote fights coming up, but that's good. He's going to have a full report with you. And yeah, I just got to get used to seeing the fantastic voyage of Angel Martinez shrinking.
Nah, it'll come back. It's just, again, you got to work with what you have.
I like it. I like the setup. And I like the new intro, by the way.
No, thank you. Hey, again, switch things up, make it look good. And it's funny because, of course, on the as I monitor the show many different ways from Sunday, I'm also looking at on the right side monitor. And I can see exactly what you're talking about because you look like a giant compared to me on the screen there, which is, it's okay. By tomorrow, it'll be fixed. It'll all look good. I'm not worried about it. Joey B, Happy New Year. Can you join us an Angel? I do appreciate it. Angel is is like a munchkin in Wizard of Oz. Yeah, listen, it's just for today. Don't worry about it. Get well soon, Miss Robin. Yes, for those who don't know, Miss Robin is fighting COVID. She tested positive today for COVID. Now,
feel better.
Yeah, one thing the default and myself said today, if you guys, well, it all depends on why you watch your news, what shows you watch. Brian and myself, TLC, I'll just put that out there. But if you guys watch the commercials, they have it a ton on TLC where it says, get COVID or have COVID, get Plex-Ovid, I don't know, some nonsense like that. Anyways, Devo said that if it happens to work from his Robin, we'll go ahead and plug it away. But listen, there's many things that'll go well. Brian says Angel is Ant-Man. Yes. See, listen, keep it coming. I get it. Jory B, Reliaquest Bowl. Very disappointed. There is no video evidence of Angel, Deb, and Dylan doing the jump around at the beginning of the fourth quarter with Badger fans. Listen, there were a lot of rules in place. Lots and lots of rules. And even the Hula Bowl that's coming up here at UCF has even more intense rules. So yeah, there's shenanigans that I can get away with at USF. I couldn't get away with as much with the Reliaquest. So yeah, that's why you didn't see a whole bunch of people just jumping around for that simple reason. But Joey B says, very disappointed. Okay, I already saw that.
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. We need video documentation of Quinones on assignment.
It's Doc. I can't. Who is that? Joey B. I cannot divulge. I cannot give you a location, a time. I cannot reveal exactly what happened. If I did, you'll probably get guys in suits coming to your house. So we don't even want to go that route. I can tell you there's nothing better, though, than calling fights remotely.
Yeah.
It's great until like all of a sudden your audio goes out or I can't hear the ring announcer. So it sounds like one of those old school Kung Fu movies. So I have to kind of go off his cue, but I have a feeling that's going to happen in about another hour tonight. And then I'll probably be aggravated and cranky for what's tomorrow, Wednesday, for a Wednesday edition of Martinez. And
yeah,
I won't be as cranky, by the way, as Uncle Tony would say, your Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. We're just bypassing that one. Matter of fact, see, Brian, thank you, Brian. We don't even have to go to the Eagles because Brian says, can we talk about the Lions Cowboys officiating tonight? Your opinions. Funny, you should say that because that's also the highlight of the refs at center and officiating debate get high profile game. Now, good call, Brian. No pun intended. The Lions got screwed. They did. They definitely did. One thing that was interesting, I was trying to load it up as quickly as I possibly could, but I kind of ran out of time as I was uploading a couple other things. There's a thing that went out on Facebook. And for those who don't know, and maybe if I get the chance, hopefully I'll get it in. If not, I'll bring it up tomorrow. I'll just have to remind myself, and maybe Brian can remind me as well for tomorrow's show. But there's a thing where everybody knows the NFL has themselves signed up as an entertainment company. So with that being said, they also, if you guys remember too, it was DraftKings and Bet Sports and whatever it was, basically your two highest gambling outfits that are out there have also been a part of the NFL signing. Well, with that being said as well, is that the games being bet and the over-unders on these games since that happened has extremely gone the other way, to the point now where people start to see two officials in particular, either A, always calling the game for a particular team, or making sure said team is not out of the realm. And I find it interesting because anybody who follows sports, I mean, you don't have to be a gambler. I'm not a gambler by any means. Pete's going to show me, he's going to give me a breakdown one day on how to do this stuff. He told me just bet $1 and maybe I can make $2, $3, whatever the case would be. Q knows all about betting because, again, sports spread that he has on Back Your Play, I have no idea. Q can show me right now like $10, and I can tell you that I would owe him negative $20 by the time it's all said and done because I don't do that stuff.
No,
you guys,
listen, here's the thing. I think it's very easy now for everyone to kind of come into play and talk about the NFL and it's trending. Hashtag the NFL's rigged. The tackle, is he eligible? Did he let the officiating crew know? Dan Campbell overthought it. I let the officiating crew know prior to the game. Well, it's still your job to let them know throughout the course of a game or certain scenarios. I just think the referee monumentally got it wrong. Got confused. I think the Lions tried to confuse the officiating tried to also confuse the Dallas Cowboys at the same time, and it somewhat backfired. But again, all that being said, this is nothing new with the officiating in the NFL. You can go week to week. You can go back to the playoffs. You can go back to the Super Bowl. I can go back to the late 70s. Renfro, did he have a foot in? I can go back to 2003, the Giants and 49ers, eligible tackle in a blown wildcard game. You go back to the Super Bowl. Was it pass interference or not? NFC Championship a couple of years ago, Saints and the Rams. The officiating in the NFL stinks. So if you're trying to draw parallels to the fact that now they're in bed with gambling, whether it's DraftKings or FanDuel or whomever, the conspiracy theorist in me says, well, the optics and perception is bad, but you got to remember one thing. This is not like the NBA with Tim Donaghy many moons ago, Sacramento and Los Angeles, the disparity in the foul calls and getting one team to the free throw line. I just think the referee totally botched it, totally had no clue, should be fined, should be suspended. And again, I can also turn around, though, and counter Angel say, well, wait a second. Lions actually had another shot to kick the extra point. They chose to go for it one more time. And if Jared Goff actually leads his receiver, they go up by one. We still don't know if they win the game because Dallas has a really good field goal kicker that can drill it. But to your point, the optics are horrible because the NFL for years, the dirty secret was we're not in bed with gambling. You opened up Pandora's box as soon as you moved the team from Los Angeles to Vegas. So I get where you're going with that. The cynic in me says there's always, where there's smoke, there's a little bit of fire, but I think you suspend these referees. I think you fine them. I think you hit them in the wallet because, ultimately, if you look at the definition of reporting eligible, they did everything right.
I don't know. See, I don't know because I've heard that. I've also heard on the other side. God, what is his name? Oh, from ESPN, former Steeler,
Ryan Clark.
Yeah. So he brought up a great argument in saying that if you look back in the video, the referee acknowledged that was it 68 went up to him, told me he was eligible.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of going back and forth. To me, I'm sorry. And I think the Lions did get screwed. That again, just my opinion as a broadcaster, I'm just throwing it out there as a fan that I think that they got screwed, no matter which way you looked at it.
Well, the NFL did a good, not to cut you off, pal. The NFL did a good job because they basically are reminding teams how to properly report as an eligible receiver. So they obviously are using this video now from Detroit and Dallas. You know, I mean, listen, I know what you're thinking. It's like, why do you have to use them as the test piece? It's always after the fact. Nobody gives a shit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that the NFL screwed up, especially if you're a Lions fan, right?
Yep, it is. I feel bad. It was ridiculous. Dan Campbell had every right to be frustrated, every right. And at the very end, when he said he had nothing really to talk about it, listen, he kept it as professional as you possibly could on TV. Me being put in that position, I told everybody, listen, just turn off the mics. You guys want to hear an explanation? Turn off the mics, mute the mics. I don't care if you want to keep the video rolling, mute your mics. Because I would have lambasted everybody. Because my thing is that you screwed them. I don't care which way. And you can go back, and even the referee himself said, he even went back and said that he made a mistake. You can't go and do something, wait until the game is over and change the outcome of the game by saying, oops, I made a mistake. What are you, Britney Spears? Oops, I did it again? It doesn't work that way.
But that's what sports is. They always talk about the blown call or a wide strike zone, or I didn't get you in the second quarter for the hack. I'm going to reward you in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's the NBA. It's all about makeup calls. I don't think the NFL is quite like that. I don't. Again, we can go around the block here. The officiating in the NFL stinks. Teams always get screwed. You can call holding. I look at the Eagles. I can call, I think it's Lane Johnson, right? He every friggin' play, everyone's like, he times it perfectly. Man, you slow it down all 22. Half the time, they're all jumping off sides. You can say it on any single solitary play. Guys jumping off sides, guys holding, pass interference, no pass interference, defensive pass interference. You know, years ago, they came up with that crowning rule when a running back lowers their head. What the hell is a running back supposed to do when he's about to make contact? They lower their head. So I'm going to flag the running back for lowering his head. It's just the NFL picks and chooses. And look, I mean, we know how it's going to play out in the NFC right now. Baltimore, San Francisco, and then obviously a lot of question marks surrounding Philadelphia Eagles.
See how you circle back to the Eagles when I said we're just going to bypass the Eagles.
Can you bypass that? Will you get on the same page with me now that the head coach is a friggin' clown and glorified cheerleader, and he's being absolutely exposed for the fraud that he is? Little by little, ever since his get out Kansas City, they're 1-4. They went from 10-1 to being the best team in the NFL, MVP, Coach of the Year, Super Bowl, AJ Brown, All Pro. Here we go. Now look at you. Not you per se, but now look at them. They go from the 2 seed or potentially getting home field advantage now to the 5 seed. Huh. Losing to Arizona. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Believe me. You know what? But I didn't have any choice. So I said to my cousin Papa, who lives out there in New England, the only probably one of two, no, because you know what? There is somebody else out there recently, Eagles fan, I believe she's a nurse out there in New England, western side of Massachusetts as well. But I said to him the week before, because he was upset, obviously, with the skid they were on. And he says, I got a funny feeling that the Eagles are going to end up losing to the Giants. I said, nope, it's going to be the other way around. The Eagles are going to beat the Giants. They're going to lose to the Cardinals. He thought I was crazy. Yesterday, he sends me a message that says, you know what? You were right. And again, because you could see it coming. You could see it coming. There was going to be just a blown game to the Cardinals. And it makes no sense. And how many times have we not said here on Martinez Company, if it was up to the Eagles and all they had to do is win the first quarter and end the game from there, hey, the record would be completely different because the Eagles only play first 15 minutes of football and then the next 45 minutes of football, I don't know who the hell plays. It's not the Eagles. It's not Matt Patricia. It's not Nick Sirianni. And then in the presser today, which I do have the presser on video that I'll bring up a little bit later on. Matter of fact, at the bottom half of the hour. And those who want to call or text into the show, you can do so at 844-644-8669, 844-644-TONY, which is 8669. So why would you even wear a Sixers? I even put out there on a tweet earlier that it might go off the rails tonight. I don't know. It's a new year. I'm trying to save for Thursday, but it was a day less this week, so I had to keep the anger inside for just a little bit longer.
Go ahead.
But you're wearing a Sixers shirt
Yeah.
to your presser. All right, so you've given up with everything. Don't put that mojo in the Sixers. Sixers right now are doing pretty damn good. So don't throw the mojo that way. And Embiid is playing tonight.
Listen, you're grasping for straws, man. The bottom line is, here's what happened to the Philadelphia Eagles. The San Francisco 49ers broke them. I said it after the game. I said it before the game when I thought the 49ers were going to smack them around. I've said them since then. They're not the same team. They're searching for answers. The head coach looks absolutely clueless. You've got an all-pro wide receiver who second week in a row. Can we talk about A.J. Brown for a second?
Oh, we can talk about him all day. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Second week in a row decides, I don't have anything nice to say. I don't want to say anything. I want to take this and go home. I want to take the Duke and go home. You're all pro. Your leader. One of your offensive weapons. Why? Because he didn't get enough touches. He didn't get his reps. He didn't get his snaps. He didn't get his plays. He didn't get his targets. Are you kidding me? When they barked at each other, Hurts and A.J. Brown during the Kansas City game, and Nick Sirianni acted as though he didn't know what happened, even though he walked over. You heard me say it then, and I'm going to say it now. That's when he started to lose his football team. And we're seeing it in spades right now, and it's manifesting itself. And I'll throw out another one, which the audience is probably going to think I'm a little cuckoo or loco for. If they get bounced, okay, in the playoffs unceremoniously, and they have a bad outing, and Sirianni looks again lost and outcoached like he was against Gannon on Sunday, the talk during the offseason is going to be, is Nick Sirianni on the hot seat? Should the Eagles get rid of Nick Sirianni? Did they make a mistake hiring Nick Sirianni? You watch. That's going to be a topic of conversation.
Listen, AJ, we could all see it. It's not something that's not new. You could see even yesterday where it was almost like, I'm not getting the ball enough. It's just happening. You can see it. You know, people, we talked about T.O. when T.O. was here. T.O. was a whole different version of what A.J. Brown was and what he is. You know, I know he put out there and a lot of people were defending him on Twitter. He really shouldn't have to say anything because look at this team and everything else. No, if you're a part of the leadership, your thing should be that you should be in there saying, you know what, maybe I got to check me first. Let's see. Am I asking too much for the ball? Yep. Okay, maybe that's my problem. How can we spread it around? We saw what Julio Jones got the ball twice, 2 touchdowns, right? Devontae Smith, granted, thankfully it was only a high ankle sprain, so that's not too bad for the Eagles, nor could it help the situation out any better anyways. But no matter what, it's just A.J. Brown wants the ball too many daggone times. I don't know why the Eagles cannot spread that ball around. It just seems like the same play over and over again. Second quarter, 15 minutes, and I could be just the broadcaster and just, all right, so second half or the second quarter here of the game, starting off here, the Eagles still have the ball. Remember, they lead here in the first quarter, 14-7. Guess what play they're going to go with? 14 left, 7 Mary right. Okay. All right. What's the next play they're going to? 14 Mary 7 right. Okay, good. Third down and 13. What play are they going to? 14 7 Mary right and left. Oh, so we're just going to go right to left? It's the same nonsense. It's the same dribble. And Nick Sirianni has no answer. If I'm the Cardinals, I'm just saying, you know what? Hold on. You guys are the backups, right? Okay. I need you 3 to go in because you already know what the play is going to be. The Cardinals, as abysmal as they are, Matt Gannon was like, thanks. This is a great homecoming. You guys handed me the gift.
Yeah, well, listen, they went out and they took it too after he had that horrible pick 6, Kyler Murray. But they came back. They had that touchdown. Boom. What happened? Here we go. Went under 5 to go. They had the 3rd and 16. They're rolling out Jalen Hurts. It's just, I mean, A.J. Brown, I pulled it up. 5 targets. Goddard, 6 targets. Smith, 5 targets. Gainwell, 4 targets out of backfield. That's a balanced attack. Like, seriously. Like, again, it's getting to the point right now where it's not fixable. They might win a playoff game by default, depending upon who they have to play on the road. But you think they're beating the 49ers? You think they're beating the Dallas Cowboys? Hell,
No.
Do you think they're going to beat I don't even see them beating the Detroit Lions. Right. So for a team that had Super Bowl or bust aspirations again and to win it and to start 10-1.
Right.
The New York Jets in 1986, okay, were 10-1. And one of the old school announcers, I think it was Paul McGuire, said at the time, they won't win another game. They finished 10-6, and they lost in the playoffs in the divisional round against the Browns in overtime. That team leaked oil. There was dissension. All the crap we're seeing, it's the same nonsense we're seeing. And now you got A.J. Brown that basically has a problem with the entire coaching staff. So whose job is it to reel him in? It's the head coach. Angel, if the head coach is not calling plays, if the head coach is not cultivating the right type of culture, if the head coach is not reeling players in, if the head coach is not inspiring, what the hell is he there for?
Well, see, Joey already knows. He already knows, but before I get to Joey's comment is Dean, the great Dean of Clearwater, saying seeing the Eagles fold up like a tent is like seeing the Eagles fold up like a tent is like I was an 8-year-old on Christmas morning and I just opened up the table hockey game, greatest feeling on earth. And listen,
Nice.
yeah, it's true. I cannot argue with Dean whatsoever. Joey B says, alert, I can see it. Angel trigger. Can you notice betting on the hatches? AJ Brown has broken me. Listen, he's driving me nuts. And January 2nd, we have found our first Angel tirade. Yeah, listen, it's coming. It's definitely coming. Might come after a break. Can you notice talking Angel off the ledge and it's only January 2nd? Because
listen, by the way, I'm not talking you off the ledge.
No.
I can't. I'm not going to push you. I'm not. But what I'm going to say is it's justified right now. It's justifiable. You cannot be this talented of a football team and lose a game and get punched in the mouth and then basically turn around and retreat and hover and cover under the blanket like the Philadelphia Eagles are. Like, where's the balls? Where's the cockiness? Where's the feistiness? You know, where's the mochizo, right? The cortisone. Where's your heart? Where's your gut? It's not there.
No.
It's not there.
It's not. It's not. And it's frustrating. It's beyond frustrating. And it's driving me nuts because, again, you got AJ. Listen, you didn't want to be with the Titans because you said you didn't get enough touches on the ball. And you got your homecoming. You got your wish. You came with the Eagles. Is Sirianni, and I know, listen, everybody knows that Howie controls that team. It's been said before, and that's the reason why Dougie is not around, is in Jacksonville, because he had to be a yes man. From what is told is that Howie runs the offense and the defense. He's a GM, which he shouldn't be running anything, but he's a call player. So my thing is, if Nick Sirianni is listening to Howie that much, why don't you tell Howie, did Chip not put you in the basement before? Do we need to put you back in the basement to understand that the head coaches and my crew are the ones that run this team? Or are we that much of a yes man that we really can't say anything? And it is frustrating. I mean, listen, and I've goofed on Dallas fans all season long, and I'll do it every single year. But do I see Dallas obviously taking the division? I hope so. Take it, run with it. I don't care. It really doesn't bother me. We haven't had back-to-back division winners in over, 12 years, if I remember correctly? So it doesn't make a difference to me. Dallas can take it. Is anyone right now capable of knocking off San Fran? I don't know. We saw the AFC, or the Super Bowl game between the Ravens and the 49ers. I think we're going to see the rematch coming up in the Super Bowl, unless somebody else has it. The Rams, I'm not sold. I know everybody's all of a sudden on the Rams bandwagon. Oh, look, the Rams, they're back, blah, blah, blah. They're the best team in the NFL. Okay, sure.
Yeah, they should, listen, they should have lost to the Giants if Tyrod Taylor actually knows how to throw a dinky 4-yard pass. And then they run a friggin' draw play on second down with 36 seconds. You know, we're sitting here kicking Sirianni when he's down. Brian Daboll, coach of the year last year, coached like a friggin', had his head up his ass Sunday with some of the friggin' play calling in that game. The Rams, they're beatable. Tampa, beatable. Green Bay, beatable. The Lions, the Cowboys, the 49ers. Those are the teams the Philadelphia Eagles have to worry about. And right now, the way they're playing, how can you objectively and honestly say they can beat any of those teams? And all that talent is right there, man. And they just got to figure out a way to get it going. And I think it's a little too late.
Yeah, well, Dylan may have a point there where he says, hey, sometimes covering under a blanket is comfortable. Yeah. Maybe that's what Nick Sirianni's doing right now. And by the way, it's not kicking him while he's down, because he's kicked his own self in the ass. Listen, I'm going to leave it there until after the break. It might be a little trigger segment. I'm just saying it might be off the rails Tuesday because I've been saving it. But Joey B says, if the Giants beat the Eagles, will Angel wear Bears gear for the 2024 draft? Not happening. Not happening. Good look, but not happening. No. I prefer, matter of fact, for my lady, I will say I've worn White Sox jersey when we went to see him play the Rays out in Tampa Bay. I also wore a Blackhawks jersey when we saw him play the Lightning in Tampa Bay as well. And because she supports me and everything that I do, I make sure I do the same thing in return. So the only thing I've not worn yet is a Bears one, and that's because I'm a diehard Eagles fan. And no, I have not worn any Buccaneer stuff other than one time to make fun of Fuji, and that was about it. But anyways, after the break, we'll get into it some more because it's driving me bananas with what this team is doing. Absolutely insane. And then Nick Sirianni comes in there. Listen, that interview might trigger me within itself. Who knows? 4, 5, 6 is what I'm going to say. More Christmas music coming up here. For those who can't get enough of the Christmas music, I believe it's going to go away as soon as Robin gets healthy. That's more important. So I believe this might be Silver Bells. I could be wrong. I don't know, one or the two. So we shall see. If not, we'll come into some other break. But for the moment, the only thing I have to give to Nick Sirianni is... And that's just to say enough about him. So after the break, we'll get into some more. You guys, we're taking your calls and your texts. 844-644-8669. 844-644-8669. Silver Bells. What the fuck? Yeah, well, sorry, buddy. I'm not the one that controls the music around here. Just saying.
I didn't see the... Let me guess. Joey B?
C. Yeah, I read them as I see them.
I didn't even see them.
Anyways, here's some Silver Bells. Enjoy it. We'll talk to you guys right after the break.
You know I got a break.
You're listening to Martinez and Company.
That's right.
On the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner, you hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it'll be Christmas Day.
Streetlights, even stoplights, blink a bright red and green.
As the shoppers rush home with their treasures,
hear the snow crash, see the gears march. This is Santa's big scene.
and above all this bustle you hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Silver bells, silver bells, silver, silver bells.
Now, back to Martinez and Company
It's always playing in my car.
on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Dime por qué le tiras piedras a la luna. Tan ilógico.
Y gracias a todo el mundo que están escuchando aquí. Martinez Company, yo soy Ángel Martínez, él es Ricardo Quiñones. Y muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Martinez Company, vamos cada lunes al viernes. Esta semana es cortito, porque estaba el New Year. So, si les gusta lo que están escuchando, llaman al show el 844-644-8669. 844-644-8669. Y no se olviden también que download los apps en el Apple y Google Store, así para que ustedes sepan que pueden escuchar el show. Puede ser en México, puede ser en España, puede ser en Dominican Republic, donde tú quieras escuchar el show, lo puede ser. And for those who always like to hit number 2 as we come back in the second quarter, Martinez Company, I am Angel Martinez. He is Rich Quinones. Martinez Company here live Monday through Friday. Of course, this week it was a condensed week because New Year's happened on Monday. Also, the Reliaquest Bowl happened on Monday as well. So next week, we'll all be back to normal. The Christian music will be gone. Everyone will be uplifted. There'll be no wars anywhere. We all will be singing Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. It's what we do as we're all here. By the way, here we go. There's tons of comments that are coming in. Don't forget, you guys can also call the show. Don't forget also to download the apps on the Google and/or App Store so you guys won't miss it. And I haven't gotten a Kuwait update. We'll have to wait till tomorrow when Miss Robin's feeling better, hopefully, and she'll come back on. And we'll get a Kuwait update. Maybe we're up to number 3 over the holidays. Maybe enough people listened in. I don't know. What do you think, Rich?
A overall update?
For the app?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I cannot get used to just... You know, I think about this. I'm surprised no one has even noticed or commented on this. And I feel as though my gallon right now is bigger than your head. Yeah, no, let's do it, man. We'll get the numbers and the app numbers and the updates and absolutely, absolutely. Penguin, my man, pots and pans.
That's right. What up, Penguin AZ? What up, Joey B? Go, Yotes, go. Yeah, listen. That's true. Vamos, as Penguin AZ always loves to come back with the Spanish news, and we always do at the bottom of the hour there. Jesus, that was the longest 2-minute break. Felt longer than a segment with Fuji and Colts fan yelling at each other. Well, boy, that's okay. So I'll have to clue you that one in. All right, Rich. So back on Broad Street South, when we're doing our Thursday weekly shows, Sundays we also do it as well for the pregame show. There's Michael, and I'll get his last name. I know it'll come to me. But he runs a Colts podcast.
Okay.
Fine job. Does an extremely fine job.
Okay.
Fuji started getting into him with the Colts on how he felt like they were kind of like fraud-ish, and he was trying to explain his point. So Michael was getting a little on the upset side and was trying to prove his point as well. The show is probably one of those, like the first off the rails that ever happened, because they both started getting into it. Michael Pena, I think is his last name, right? But I believe he also updated as well. But it was, so you remember when everybody used to break dance? You know, you go out there, you go on the floor, you get back up, you cross your arms, and then all you had to do was hand it off to the next person, right? So Michael was doing that to Fuji. Basically, Fuji, like, he was turning beet red, going back and forth with the Michael. Was like, you know, what do you think? Michael was coming back and telling him, was like, boom, all right, ball's in your court. This went on for like 15 minutes. The most hilarious thing you'll probably ever see.
So that's the old school, like when you wear the New Yorkers and the fat laces. That's the old school, clear the floor, we're going to war. That's exactly what that is.
Correct.
Break into Electric Boogaloo. I mean, yeah. I mean, what are we doing here? The Last Dragon, right? Vanity. You know, remember Bruce Leroy?
Yeah. Who am I? Show enough? What? That's right. That movie. That's another such a great movie.
Gallon of vodka down. Apparently, people think I'm drinking that. It's straight water.
That's what they might think there. There's comments going back and forth here between Get a Grip, as he mentioned earlier. Can I press 3 for German? Listen, you can. Das Vidanya. I don't care. Whatever you want to send. You want to hit Russian? We can do it all here. So, Avida say, Penguin AZ says, what is the number for what is it? For Spanglish. That would be between, that's 1.5. So you have to hit 1 star 5, and then you get Spanglish in between. That's the great mixture in between both of those. Or actually, no, excuse me, backwards. 2 star 1. 2 star 1. Since I always tell everybody you press number 1 on the way back. So that answers that one. Joey B says, can you honest with a gallon of vodka after a musical break? It might happen. You never know. You never know,
man. You got to clean the system, detox, a lot of water.
Yeah,
constantly.
That there is. The one thing I want to get into before we get into, and I know I'm going to get triggered by Sirianni. I already know it, but the NFL has heard the cries of fans who are furious about referee Brad Allen's game-changing muff call during the Week 17 game between the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. And in response, the NFL is doing what it does best, giving its fans more of what they don't want. Anybody? Bueller?
Giving the fans more of what? Hold on a second. Is this breaking news?
Wait. I have to go back. Daggone it. You guys are going to make me do this. I didn't want to do it, but see, now I'm screwed because I may have taken it out during the break. I'm just saying.
Breaking news. Angel flubs the first breaking news of 2024.
It may have been, you know why? Because everybody complained about I don't like
Or
that
maybe
one.
it's because you're so friggin' far away and so tiny, the buttons have gotten smaller and you can't even find them on the production board. You found that one.
I sure did. Dang it. Darn it.
Here, I'll bite, righty? I'll bite. What's the NFL doing? What are they giving us more of?
According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Allen and his crew have been assigned to officiate Saturday's game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens. So what's that mean? That means that their fans aren't getting what they want. The NFL said, screw you clowns. We're going to put them back out there. The same officiating crew. And by the way, once again, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens game. What's the over-under on that right now?
Geez, I would venture to guess that's probably 41-ish, 43. I'll tell you right now. But remember, Baltimore, it might even be lower. Baltimore's got nothing to play for. They're locked in. They're top overall seed in the AFC. They're going to sit a ton of players. Well, I'm seeing different books on this. What was that? Was it? Did we just have breaking news? It just sounds like a friggin' Cialis commercial.
Hey, it could be the Friday pill.
Ravens. Oh, wow.
What is it?
36. Well, yeah, that's because they are going to rest a lot of players, so I stand corrected. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this much. Would then, if the Steelers win, just let's say hypothetically, Steelers win, that gives who never a losing season while he's in Pittsburgh?
That would be Mike Tomlin. They would be, well, actually, no, they're 9-7 right now. So if they lose, he would still have a winning record.
Right. But do you think they're going to have him lose again? The Ravens already locked up the number one seed in the AFC.
I think you're reading too much into this. I think it was just they blew the call, period. They blew the call, period. And that's it. Will people be upset if will people be upset if this crew is in the playoffs? Yeah, but what can you do about it? I mean, seriously, it's a blown freaking call. It happens every single day. Yes, yeah.
Joey B, you gotta love him. I'm telling you, he's been around for the last 3 years with us over at Broad Street South. Comes over to Martinez Company, the best man ever.
Angel, I think you would be more upset, and I pulled up the schedule real quick, if that crew was officiating, say, Buffalo and Miami, Sunday Night Football for the AFC East title. There's a lot more at stake. You know, Pittsburgh winning another game, getting to 10-7 or losing to 9-8, playoffs at stake, whatever. But Baltimore's pretty much locked in. They're resting a substantial amount of players. That's why the line or the under is as low as it is. Lamar Jackson's wrapped up pretty much the MVP. So I would be more upset, with a bad officiating crew on a Sunday night with a AFC East division on the line.
Yeah. Penguin Easy says, yo, thanks. Maybe I'll leave again. Now it's two of us, Angel. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Unkindly ridiculous. I swear. Anyways.
Are you going to be able to handle yours? Because my voice is, I have to go get my Ricolos. Are you going to be okay at 7:00 without me for an hour?
No, I'm just going to.
I have a feeling you're going to get triggered. And who are you going to get triggered on at 7:00?
Dylan.
Well, I mean, and we know what happened the last time you kind of got triggered.
Right, yeah, exactly. Because he let something out that he wasn't supposed to let out. But now that it's over, it doesn't matter at this point. But it was a great game at the Reliaquest Bowl over there at Raymond James Stadium. Beautiful weather for those who were here and was able to enjoy it. As Joey B says, Ricola break.
Yes. So listen, before the break real quick, I had that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday straight through. What do you got there? You got there a little mini teacup? What do you got there? A little.
See, well, because it's after a holiday, so the holiday one goes away and the small one comes back.
Thursday, voice was shot, fights by myself. Friday, Saturday, same thing, and then Sunday in the afternoon, same exact thing. So today's what, Tuesday?
See,
it was. I would say my voice probably came back late Sunday, but
late Sunday.
Yeah, I've been woofing down those Ricolas like they're Pez.
See what happened? Uh-oh. Tea time now. That's exactly what it is. It's that 6:30 break. It's tea time. We got to get Lipton or somebody to sponsor the 6:30 bottom of the hour by Lipton iced tea or somebody. I don't know what else to.
Bigelow.
Penguin EZ says, "Where is your mask? Like I still see people with a mask in a car alone." Yeah, listen, that is ungodly ridiculous. By the way, California, I hope you guys enjoyed that they brought the mask mandate back. Mind you, it's not a law, but you guys keep following the followers instead of following leaders. Joey B says, "My God, these two are becoming Bartles and James before our eyes."
Did you ever drink wine coolers?
Oh, did I? Yeah.
So I was thinking about this the other day. It's funny that they mentioned the Bartles and James. Do you remember Zima?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was full transparency. That and a little Mad Dog. That was my go-to.
Was it really?
You couldn't walk into the house party with Zima. That was in the back pocket. The Mad Dog, you walk in with the paper bag. The Zima, you can't do that because, kind of like a little soft drink. But hey, what are you going to do?
Well, the funny thing is, and I'll get back to the comments here. Let me get back to a couple before I share another enlightening story with everyone. Joey B says, Angel and Quinones need an NIL deal with Jello butterscotch pudding. Penguin EZ says, Seagram coolers. Hey, those aren't bad. Matter of fact, I think those are the ones. Am I correct? And my producer over in Studio B, she'll probably give me the nod or not, but I'm pretty sure they're the ones at Walmart. And Penguin EZ, correct me if I'm right on this, Tom. I'm almost certain those are the ones. No, you know what? It might be like $1.50 now at Walmart. I forgot that went up, but you can get them for $1. It was freaking great. Now I think it's like $1.50. I'm not too sure. Joey B says Zima Gold too. Listen, that wouldn't be bad.
Mix that with a little Mad Dog though. That'll put a little hair on the chest.
I bet it would. Get a Grip says, have you seen the news of Chance Comanche being tried with his girlfriend? Yep. Terrible to see a TBL start with this happen. Yeah.
I think you and I talked a little bit. I mentioned that to you off air, and that's not good news, man.
No, it's not.
But yeah, that's a bad situation right there.
Yep, it is. Joey B says Seagram's cooler, red, white, and berry, Walmart. See, I told you, and it was Joey B. Am I correct? You guys, let me know. They are pretty good. I agree. I'm almost certain, like before the summer, before things started becoming, what's the word here? Scarce or, we're still in COVID crap nonsense, blah, blah, blah. They were like $1 at Walmart. You can basically get 5 of them for $1. I mean, $1 piece for $5. Again, the math is not mathing. Look at it. Anyways, but it was actually good. Penguin Z says it was decent, but they are actually pretty good. But so years ago when I was going into the club, and I'll make sure I bring up the Sirianni presser before you take off here. My cousin and I, when I was in Philly, up on 5th Street in North Philly, because we lived on 9th Street years ago, and my aunt lived on 9th Street as well. There was a club that was right around the corner, and I used to go to it. And my cousin, he just used to tell me, listen, they're not going to card you, they're not going to say anything. And I guess he knew only because I grew up many years before my time without letting a lot of stuff out there, but I had to grow up and be a man in the house super quick. But anyways, end up going to the club, and we end up going, the guy never carded me or anything else. And my cousin said, why don't you walk up to the bar and ask him for a drink? I'm like, dude, I don't drink. He goes, just go get a wine cooler or something. So I went up to the bar, asked him for a pina colada. They gave it to me. No big deal. All right. So then the Electric Factory, if you remember that one on Delaware Avenue, we ended up going there. So he said, listen, there's a girl that I want to meet. She's going to be there. The only reason why I loved going to the clubs back in the day was because that's where the dance music was before it hit the radio. Right, and that's the only place you're going to do it. And I'm a dance freak, which I love now it's electronic dance music, BPM, you name it. But anyways, we get there And my cousin says, all right, just act cool. If they ask you for your ID, just whip it out, whatever. I'm like, okay, genius. I whip it out. I'm 18 years old. What damn difference does it make? So he's like, no, don't worry about it. Matter of fact, no, I'm lying. I was 16. I wasn't even 18 at that point. So we get up to the electric factory. My cousin is in front of me. And they said, ID. So he shows me the ID. He walks in. Guy just gives me a nod. I walk right in. I'm like, what the hell? So my cousin, we get to the top of the steps. He was like, I can't believe they didn't card you. I'm like, why don't you say it any louder so at the bottom of the stairs they can't hear what you just said, genius? I'm like, oh my God. So anyways, I walk in, then I figure, okay, can I go 2 for 2? Let's try go to the bar, see what happens. So I, go to the bar. I was a nerd, so the big glasses back in the day was out, the gloves, the whole 9 yards. So I walk up to the bar and I said, I like a beer. I mean, as just the way I said it right now, the same exact way. And the girl looked at me. She goes, is your voice okay? I said, yeah, I was just trying to talk to this girl and I need a beer to kind of,
You Peter Brady'd.
Exactly. So she gave it to me. No ID, no nothing. Here comes my cousin. He goes, what'd you get? And like, I got you a Budweiser. He goes, I like Miller Lite. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude, then go back and trade it. I don't know what to tell you. So he goes back over there and says, listen, my cousin got, he got me the wrong beer. Can I just swap it out? She goes, no, I already opened it. He's already touched it. So you got to get a new beer. So he's like, all right, can I have a Miller Lite? And she was like, all right, ID. And he looks around and like, bro, if you open up your mouth, I swear to God, I will hit you with this bottle. Didn't say anything the rest of the night. I was actually surprised that I actually got away with it. So anyways, that's my story. Joey B, let me go back to this one. It says, God bless America. And Walmart can buy tube socks, boxers, and Seagram's red, white, and berry all in one place, which is true. Penguin AZ says, also, what about the biker gang beating up the guy from 90210? Yeah.
Hearing, Sharknado fame. Not cool.
Not cool whatsoever. And that's ridiculous.
They should do the scene like they did in Bronx Tale when Chaz Palminteri walked over to the door and he says, now you can't leave.
Exactly. That was pretty much it. But I felt bad. Come on, man. There's like 5-1. I understand he threw a punch at a girl, but at the time you're getting punched by 4 or 5 different people. Did you know you were going to punch a girl? No, everybody, it's melees. All they're doing is throwing haymakers. And then the one guy finally came after him with the helmet. I mean, listen, all I'm going to say is you guys voted for it. That's all I'm going to say. You guys voted for it. And you know what guys I'm talking about. You guys voted for it. You're welcome. If you actually would have thought before you actually voted, maybe a lot of this nonsense wouldn't happen. And if that tunes you away from the show and you don't like the truth, I don't know what else to tell you. But you're welcome.
Triggered.
You're welcome.
652.
California.
Over 90210. Triggered.
I swear it. Anyways, exactly, Joey B. Soon maybe some herb too. Breaking news. Deb in Studio B looking for Angel's wet, white, shiny dance shoes. There's not there anymore. Ian Zering from North Jersey is 59. That is true. Ian Zering also protecting his 10-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Yep. Listen, it's a shame. It really is a shame. All I'm going to say, November, y'all better wake the fuck up. That's all I got to say. Wake up in November, because if you guys don't and you like what's going on now, wake up, folks. Wake up. Because I'm telling you, this is nothing. What you've seen in the last 3 years will be a cakewalk compared to what they get away with. What you guys already see what's going on there. I'm not going to make it political, but again, you guys, and I already saw somebody tune out, and that's fine. Because you know what? Everybody doesn't like the truth, but the truth's in front of you. But believe the lies all you want to. I really don't give a shit. Because if I had the Elon Musk sounding right now where it says, hey, go fuck yourself, that's exactly what I would be playing.
Oh, we're dropping S-bombs, F-bombs. Where's the tip jar? Where's the swear jar?
It's over there somewhere.
I am really getting worried when 7 o'clock rolls around and I'm not here for just 1 hour this evening to just take your small little head and small little body and just make sure that you are okay. I don't know. Look, remember this little game you would play?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
that's exactly it.
My voice is getting shot again.
That's exactly what it is. Sorry. I told you, listen, I said that, and one thing I would tell you that if you are part of the Butthurt Society, and I don't mean that in the most negative aspect, I'm just telling you, this is grown folks show. And if you guys don't like the truth, you can always listen in somewhere else. You can listen to the Tony Bruno Sports Network anytime throughout the day from, 7 to 10, 10 to 12, best of, 3 to 6, and then there's me. And if you don't like it, I don't know what else to tell you, but I sure as hell am not going to hide from the truth. Everybody can circle around all they want to, just like my little head right now. They can all circle around it. But I'm not. I've already said it enough. I am going to have a show one night where I'm going to go absolutely off the rails. It may not be on LinkedIn, by the way.
He said adult content. We're talking about Zima wine coolers 90210.
That is Zima's adult content. Or at least the way I see it. Anyways, enough of that stuff. Thank you all, by the way, for tuning in here to Martinez Company live Monday through Friday from 6 to 8. Condensed week this week, Tuesday through Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Oh, by the way, speaking of, let me make sure I get it out there because I got paid $5,000 for this one. Thanks to AJ. AJ's a good man. Paid me $5,000. And I'll tell you as soon as I find it. Tonight on AJ Johnson's show, the Bleacher Brothers. They are having former Michigan fullback and former Cowboy and Dolphin Gerard White on tonight on Bleacher Brothers. What?
That's a good get. Nice.
It is. Yep. So Bleacher Brothers tonight, following this show from 8 to 10 p.m. Listen in. And thanks to AJ for the $5,000. I cashed it in. You can't get it back. It's good. It's all Monopoly money, so it's all good. He told me it was. Anyways, let's see. Penguin Z said, Angel, take a sip of the tea. I will in a second here. Angel, Joey B says, Angel might eat a whole box of Pop-Tarts now. The Pop-Tart Bowl was the best Pop-Tarts with the Zima Mad Dog next segment. Jesus. Why don't we do that with the, what was the thing? The Pops? The Rock Pops? You just put in your mouth?
Soda.
Yeah, there you go. So, no, the candy ones.
The
little ones. Joey B, he probably remember.
The Poppers.
Yeah, but you put them in your mouth and you just crack on, pop it, all the good stuff. You were supposed to take on soda.
The what were they called? The hot ones, the ones with the little devil on them.
No, it was just the regular ones. You just pop them in your mouth and then they just, anyways, I'm pretty sure Joey B will remember. He'll Pop Rocks. There you go. See,
I don't know.
Pop Rocks.
I don't know. Pop Rocks.
Yes, I told Joey B will remember. It's the way it works. Anyways. 6:57. Take on it. Let me see if I can squeeze this in before we get knocked off. All right. Here's the Sirianni presser before I get knocked off here.
Appreciate you taking the time today.
Thanks, Allie.
We'll get started here with Brooks and then Bo.
Hey, Nick. Going into this week are two questions. One, do you have any plans to change play calling duties on the defensive side? And with off-ball linebackers with Hassan Reddick and Nolan Smith and others reviewing that yesterday, do you have any sense of or where Matt or Sean would want to go with that, and after working with that a couple of weeks?
We're gonna continue to go.
And that's enough of the presser because basically
question already. My God, just get to it. What the frig?
Yeah, that's enough of the presser because everything after that was pretty much he went everywhere around the question. Around the world like a basketball game, around every single place before answering. Basically, it was much ado about nothing. It was like 19 minutes and 28 seconds long. If I remember, not hot tamales. No, not that one, but that was good candy as well. He went every which way around it. And I mean every freaking which way around it just to be able to get to it. It's just, anyways. There's nothing that you can say at this point, Nick. Honest to God, that unless you fix what's going on in the field, and a lot of people know it's exactly what's going on in the field there, unless you fix it, it means absolutely nothing. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I hope you have a wonderful second portion of the show. That's all. That's all I was going to say. I just hope you have a good second half of the show and you're not as wound up tomorrow when I'm on with you. That's it.
Wait, I thought you were off tomorrow.
No, I said tonight, 7:00.
Okay.
That's what I said. Holy shit, you're all over the place, man. Do I need to air dirty laundry on the air? Do we breaking news? No, call the flights in about 20 minutes. You got the D-man on a autopilot with you, and then we're good to go back in the saddle tomorrow.
Yeah, what do you do? Turn off the lights? Oh, there he is.
I don't know what he's doing. It's probably got to get bedside turnover. I can see him shaking his head in the corner too.
Yep. Anyways, all right. Well, we're going to go to commercial break, switch out a couple things here. Rich, tonight, thank you very much. I appreciate coming on the first hour. And then I will see you here tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And Dylan, stand by as we're going to make a couple of switches here. And then everybody else who's tuning in tonight, don't forget you can call or text into the show, 844-644-8669, 844-644-8669, which is Tony. Don't forget Pete Shepard in the morning from 7 to 10 a.m. doing a fantastic job this morning. As always, it was great to hear him back on the radio this morning. Then Defo Luby at 10 to 12. The boys were back. The entire family was back. Then the best of 12 to 3 because of Miss Robin having COVID. It was the best of, which normally it's Tony and Miss Robin on the Tony Bruno Show from 3 to 6 p.m. And then myself and Rich, Martinez Company from 6 to 8 p.m. And don't forget AJ Johnson with his guest, Gerald White. You guys, not Gerald Levert. Let's not get that wrong. Gerald White will be on from 8 to 10 p.m. with AJ Johnson, the Bleacher Brothers. So after the break, we'll bring in Dylan. We'll take away Mr. Quinones. And just stay tuned, folks. So you're going to see the home screen for a second as we switch things around. And then I'll bring everybody back. So don't think we're going off air. We'll just take a temporary break and we'll be right back.
Tell your friends the game is on. TBSN.
I see what you're wearing, there's nothing beneath it. Forgive me for staring, forgive me for breathing. We might not know why, we might not know how, but baby tonight, we're beautiful now, we're beautiful now. But baby, tonight, we're beautiful now. We'll light up the sky, we'll open the clouds. Cause baby, tonight, we're beautiful now. We're beautiful. We're beautiful.
Quarter number 3 here. Martinez Company from 6 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. Of course, it is a condensed week only because New Year's was on Monday, and Dylan and I had the pleasure of covering the Reliaquest Bowl, LSU versus Wisconsin, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They had bowling Thursday night down there at Ybor, or not Ybor, excuse me, down at hot damn it,
downtown Tampa.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of the.
It's like right next. It's like right next to Amalie Arena.
So. I know, but it's the specific name. The producer, she's going to hear me on delay here, but she'll remind me here. But anyways, it was over in Splitsville. If you guys had not been down there, Sparkman Wharf. Good Lord, there you go. And I know she's probably going to walk in the door right now. They were at Sparkman Wharf. Really great place. They've built it up really nice. They've added a lot more restaurants, coffee bars, some other places. Splitsville's right there. See, just gave me a nod. Yeah, Sparkman Wharf. Yeah. So, see, she heard it coming over from Studio B to let me know that, yes, that's what it is. So, yeah. Anyways, they were out there on Thursday night having themselves a great old time. Of course, Friday. Thursday, because they flew in on Wednesday.
Thursday,
yeah. It was Thursday. It's been a long 5 days.
They came in Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday. Eventually, I'll get my days right. No, wait a minute.
It's all
is that
good.
Right?
Yeah, they came in Tuesday when we picked up the credentials. So.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Yeah. God, feels like that was already a week ago. Good Lord, does time fly? But anyways, we picked them up, had a great time, got to see the gang on the beach. It was great. The weather was, it all depends. For some people, it was chilly. For Wisconsiners, they were nice and toasty for the most part. But it was a good time nonetheless. As I get to a couple of comments here. Joey B says, "Take care, Rich." Dylan with the beard. Yeah, it's been growing. It's been growing little by little. Dylan all grown up now, but yeah, it's been a while. Well, it's been a while, but he's been around at the same time too. Anyways, looking good, Dylan. And Joey B says, if Dylan lip syncing too, I may have to do a Jaeger shot.
I'll do it with you, Joey B.
And there you go. Dylan, who has a better press box buffet, Toronto Blue Jays spring training facility or no? Listen, I don't even think there's competition there.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to go Toronto Blue Jays spring training. I will have to say the Reliaquest Bowl pressed media food was delicious yesterday. They had let me think if I remember correctly, they had brisket, they had a bread pudding. Oh, so good yesterday. Yeah, I think I got to go Blue Jays. Though I think we get some cut meat and stuff. It's good stuff at Blue Jays spring training.
It is a nice stadium. I will say they've done a nice job at TD Bank Field, TD Bank Park, whichever way you want to call it. But and I get to tease Dylan because he works for Toronto. It's a great time. This year may not happen only because of everything he's doing on USF. And for those who don't know, Dylan basically went small, and now he's at a university, which is nice though because where he came from, the university where he was at, helped him grow an actual media facility. To put it in best terms, and he's forever grateful. One of these days he'll be enshrined. I can't wait because I'll go back there and watch the enshrinement ceremony. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for that to happen. Dylan just had a moment, brisket and bread pudding. Yeah, he did. That's why you saw him. Listen, I let him pause. He knew where he was getting to. I just let that pause in because, he was feeling it. But no, I would imagine for Toronto it would be really good. But anyways, it's Saturday at the Tug of War, Wisconsin, which looked like, as we talked about yesterday, was that Wisconsin may have won that game going early on. And we were talking about the very first half. They won the Tug of War. For what I understand, they also won the Pie Eating contest. And what am I missing? There was one more thing. Oh, the girls. Yeah, so it was the boys, the girls, and then the combo of the boys and girls. Mm-hmm. Wisconsin took all three at the Tug of War. Which it was fun. It was great. We were actually surprised that the small pool that they made on the beach was deeper than we all thought. But it was a good time. The Battle of the Bands was really nice. They did it again at Busch Gardens. There were so many events, and I'm pretty sure all those guys and girls are probably just tired and thankful to be home, and they get to enjoy their break a little bit more. I don't know if they get extended break. When do you guys come back? Is it 21st?
Next Monday.
Next Monday?
Yeah, so they probably get like the week off, and then they'll be back Monday for school. So that's if Wisconsin and LSU have the same schedules that we do. Most colleges are usually going back on the 7th because they start they end their semester on usually around the 8th or the 9th. So right about the beginning of the month of December. So we get about a month off, which is really nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of studying because then now you guys start cramming for finals from this point forward. I mean, you have spring, The next big one everybody looks for is spring break. That's the big one. But then, after that, it's nothing but study time, basically from after spring break until time to graduate, if you're graduating, or if not, if you're moving on and moving up.
Absolutely.
But anyways, Penguin AZ says, what up, Dylan? The great Tom checking in, as always, Penguin AZ, throughout the entire show. And by the way, you guys, the lines are open. You guys want to call in or text into the show, 844-644-8669, 844-644-8669. But yesterday's game, Dylan, which seemed like in the very beginning, Wisconsin was in control. Mordecai was on fire on the first half. And Nussmeier, who it took him a little bit, and you could even hear it in the broadcast, in the press box, obviously ESPN being on the opposite side, but you can kind of hear where they were talking about how he, they weren't too sure if he was going to be the next LSU star, because obviously with Jaden now declaring for the draft, he's going to go into the NFL. Didn't get to play the game. He was on the field, which was nice to see. He was on out there with his teammates and stuff. But they didn't know if Nussmeier was going to be the next one in behind Jaden. But the second half came around, and I think they got their answer by the time the game came around. But a couple of the early plays, again, Mordecai with some deep throws and some solid throws. It wasn't like it was off target. I mean, I want to say his first 5, at least, on his deep passes were all on the mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Mordecai, and for people who don't know, Tanner Mordecai is a great quarterback. I mean, prior to him joining Wisconsin, he threw 39 passing touchdowns at SMU, actually 30 plus touchdowns in the 2 seasons he was there at SMU. So the kid can play. And we obviously know that from his time over at SMU with the Mustangs and in the AAC. Now, granted, Wisconsin and the Big Ten football is a little bit different. Unless you're a Michigan or you're one of these bigger schools that just go out and score. Wisconsin, they're in a division where really that division doesn't score as much as the other division with Michigan and Ohio State.
Right.
I was very impressed with Mordecai. I knew he can definitely throw the ball. I knew he could pass it. I knew he could sling it around the field. But I was impressed. Yeah, he threw the ball deep. And that's what you got to do when you're going up against a team like LSU. I think people knew, okay, Wisconsin may not be better than LSU. But I think they had to go out there and they had to make those big splash plays to get them off their game. And that's what they did. And I give credit to Luke Fickell and Wisconsin. They really came out slinging. And you had to do that against an LSU team that really could have handily beat you if you just let them stomp all over you. But Wisconsin played well. And even on defense, I was very impressed with their defense. They were stout defensively. Granted, we mentioned Nessmeyer. That was his first game as a quarterback, really starting and getting that opportunity. And I'll be honest, I thought he did great. He really did an impressive job. He settled in, which I think is something that he kind of needed to do anyways. I kind of didn't expect him to maybe come out of the gate swinging. Although that first pass that he had, I thought if he would have made that completion, that could have changed the complexity of the momentum in that game, especially in that first pass play that ended up getting called incomplete downfield. So it was definitely a very entertaining game, and definitely what a great way to start out the 2024 year with technically the first 2024 football game of the new year.
Yeah. No, it was, again, the running plays. I think both teams were well balanced. I will say that much between LSU and Wisconsin. You can see it. They obviously running the ball well, but passing it around. It wasn't like you had one specific target throughout the entire game. So, I mean, clearly what should have been obviously LSU winning, which they were, and they did. I think I don't know if the odds were or the spread was 17.5 or something else like that, but I believe LSU should have won by a landslide. Wisconsin, towards the very end of the game, I felt bad for Mordecai because at the end of the fourth there, coming down to the final minutes, I don't know if it was just the nerves or what it was, Dylan, but we could see him scrambling and then not holding on to ball securely. Mm-hmm. We saw the first fumble, it went out of bounds. Second fumble, they were lucky again, they recovered. Third one was pretty much the dagger because he got hit, comes out, LSU takes it, and that's your final. LSU end up winning the game. But, I mean, you can't take anything away from him. He played a very smart game, played a good game, just got out coached at the very end of the fourth there. LSU, once Nussmeier found his stride, and you had brought it up with a lot of the tweets you put out yesterday as well, and thank you for that as you were doing it live while we were there. But the big thing was you can see it. You can just see the confidence building up. And it's funny because whether you were looking at it in person, whether you're looking at it through TV, no matter which way you're looking at it, it was just fun to see that transition where Nussmeier started feeling more confident, but there was no cockiness. I will say that much. You could just see him go to the sideline the same way he came in to approach the game, the same way he was exiting out to go to the sideline. It was the same repetition-wise until the end of the game. Of course, then you want to celebrate because then he can finally say, all right, I was able to do it. I got Jaden his bowl championship so he can go into the NFL as a champ for the most part. And I know some people might say, well, it's just a Reliaquest Bowl. There's any bowl that you're invited to, winning, you're still a bowl champion, no matter which way you look at it. Whether it's the Puppy Chow Bowl or the Snickerdoodle Bowl, whatever bowl it is, obviously, the deeper, if you get into week 2, you go into the deeper bowls, it's different. The Reliaquest Trophy, obviously a beautiful, beautiful trophy. But LSU I think they did a tremendous job. But Wisconsin, again, you can't take anything away from them because they are just. Could I see them back in a bowl game next year? Could it be the same one for them? It could be a possibility. I think Wisconsin knows, and it's hard, to be able to find the hidden talent at high schools, depending on how Wisconsin obviously looks for their talent. But I know they might be. I don't know, Dylan. I would say both sides of the ball they're going to need some help, but I think maybe a little more offensively. Or am I incorrect?
Well, you're going to lose Tanner Mordecai next year, so
Right.
Obviously that's a pretty big loss. It's gonna be. I think the big thing really is, and the Penguin AZ. No, I'm not a Packers fan. I'm a Bucks fan. Before I get into what I'm about to say here in a second, I think the one thing is with Wisconsin is, and really it's going to be kind of based off of how the division alignment plays out next season, because you got to remember too, you're going to have couple new teams coming from the Pac-12 and some big teams as well. I mean, one of them is going to be Washington. One of them is going to be Oregon. You're going to have USC, UCLA. You're going to have some big teams next year. It's not going to be an easy task. And depending on where they end up putting them in regards to the divisions and such, Wisconsin may have to be playing some of them. And Washington is a team that right now they're in the national championship game here heading into Monday. And then you have a team like Oregon who is playing on Monday as well. Or this past Monday, excuse me, in the Fiesta Bowl, which is one of the biggest games of the college football season. So, it's not going to be easy next year in the Big Ten. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a dogfight in every single game. And, prior to this upcoming season, Wisconsin was fortunate to be in the easier of the two divisions in the Big Ten. And, they kind of could get away with not scoring a ton of points, which is really how that division has been kind of looked at over the past couple of years. But now, yeah, definitely offense is going to have to be a big key heading into next season. I don't know exactly, in regards to who's being able to stay again. I'm not too up to date in regards to Wisconsin and who's coming in and out. A lot of the Wisconsin fans or, the Wisconsin media definitely probably know more in regards to what the senior class is looking like in terms of this season. So I have no idea who's leaving the team or who's going to the draft. But, there's definitely going to be a big loss without Tanner Mordecai, especially for how good of a quarterback he is. And don't look at the numbers that he put up this season. Only 6 touchdowns this year. That is not a replication of what the guy can do. I think he really proved in this game here on Monday that he could play. And I don't know if he'll be an NFL quarterback, but I think he'll definitely be somebody. Maybe he could go to a league like the XFL or whatever it is, the UFL. I don't know, whatever they call it now, but
you're right.
The joint league, if you will. Maybe he'll find a spot there. Maybe he can make a spot there, or maybe he finds his way to a practice squad. I don't know, but he'll definitely be somebody that I'm very interested to keep an eye on heading into the draft. But it'll be interesting to see what Wisconsin does. And then obviously with LSU, is Nussmeier going to be their guy? I think the jury's still out for that, especially with, it's only one game, but he did look good in his one game that he played here on Monday in the Reliaquest Bowl.
No, all good points there. And I'll get back to one of the ones that you had said, but the Penguin AZ says, oh, by the way, Penguin AZ, just to let you know, next week, hopefully what I end up having is Wayne Henderson from the Packers Fan Podcast. I know Penguin AZ, you like Green Bay, so I will have next week. We're still trying to iron out as far as the day he can come on, but Wayne Henderson from the Packers Fan Podcast will be on. So much insight. He is on Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game on my side of the house there that you guys can listen to the replay for the Packers Fan Podcast. And he does such a tremendous job. I'm surprised the guy's he's not picked up by CBS or somebody, but he's been doing it for many years, does an outstanding job. We've been friends, I don't know, I guess 5 years now. It's been a while, but anyways, I wanted to let you know, Penguin AZ, but he says, seems Wisconsin is more of a basketball school, as when I was in Appleton for a wedding, the hotel was packed with basketball players. Mind you, most were taller than me, and I am 5'10". Yeah. Well, they have been known to be more of a basketball school, but their football program has definitely been stepping up for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Penguin AZ, I'll let you know. If not, I'll send you a message as well. But I'll let you know exactly what day he's going to be on. Also, this week, and I'm waiting for confirmation. Ed Kratz, good friend of mine, will hopefully be on. We'll get into some Eagles talk and talk about how the things are kind of collapsing for the Eagles at the moment. And for those who are just tuning in, first of all, thank you for tuning in to Martinez Company. We are live here Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. You guys can find us not only on the Tony Bruno Sports Network app. You guys can download the app on your Apple and Android store. Also across the social medias on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. And I will say this much. Number one, am from Philadelphia. So if you want to stereotype me, you can stereotype me all you want to. I am from Philly. I will say exactly what's on my chest because I am not controlled by anyone. I am also not controlled by the FCC. Therefore, I can say what I want. And if you guys ever notice on the stuff I'll put out on social media, that's exactly what I do. Because again, if people aren't out there to tell you the truth, the way that things are, then you can keep hiding behind whatever mask or whatever else is going on out there. So if people go back and hear this replay and they'll say, oh my God, I can't believe what the guy is saying. Because again, we are from Philly and we're bold. That's just the way we are. I live here in Tampa. I reside in Tampa. But just because I moved from Philly doesn't mean that Philly passion, that Philly fire leaves me. Even though I don't believe a lot of things that are going on back home as well. So for those who are tuning in and you hear back the replay, if you hear the first hour when I went on my rant, there's good reasons for it. Because again, there's things that eventually people will wake up to and realize exactly what's going on. And I don't hold anything back. Vamonos, Packers, vamonos, as Penguin EZ says. But to Mordecai, to what you were saying, well, you never know, Dylan, because you got, I would say there's at least right now, maybe 6, if not 7 NFL teams that are probably looking for at this point, someone they can get on a kind of on a lease. And Mordecai would be one of the guys that could enter the NFL and be able to be picked up, but by a team that may be looking right now that they're trying to fill in other voids, but they can also get themselves a pretty decent quarterback because you never know what you can end up building up to. Some guys are hidden gems. Look at Brock Purdy, right? Like Tom Brady, way at the end of the draft. And now look what he's doing with San Fran. So you never know just because of the way the game played out yesterday. Again, for what he played in the first half, leading all the way up to the third quarter, he's just in the fourth when things started collapsing little by little. But either way, he's going to get picked up by somebody. If not, unless I don't believe I haven't heard anything about going to a transfer portal or anything else, or am I wrong?
Well, he's a senior, so I don't think he can actually legally go into the transfer portal unless, I've seen some crazier things. Bishop Sycamore is one of them, so maybe
Correct.
He'll do that. But no, I could definitely see him be on an NFL team. He definitely impressed. Remember Brock Purdy? He was a guy coming out of Iowa State. Not many people, thought he was going to be this crazy thing, and now look at him. The guy is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And I actually saw his last game at Iowa State when he was in the Cheez-It Bowl, which I know that's one of your favorite bowls, Angel, the Cheez-It Bowl, and the Pop-Tart Bowl. I don't know if you saw this yesterday, by the way, when we were up in the booth, but did you see the Cheez-It mascot saying non-edible mascot? He held a sign. That was great. I had to admit that was pretty amazing. But anyways, maybe Mordecai could become like a Brock Purdy. And, Brock Purdy, I think right now will be the standard for guys who are kind of like the, if you will, the Mordecais or these kind of, the Tommy DeVitos or, guys who, kind of come from the woodworks, if you will, and kind of come out of the blue and make a name for themselves. And we'll see. Maybe Mordecai can become that Brock Purdy. In my opinion, if he wants to go and start, though, I feel like his best bet would honestly be the XFL or whatever it is, UFL, or maybe even the CFL is a possibility for him. So there are options definitely there for sure. So definitely be interesting to see how things kind of play out.
He could. Well, now the new league is the USFL.
No, the UFL.
Is that what it is? United Football League?
Yeah, so it's there's the two conferences are the XFL conference and the USFL conference, which I will say is kind of weird because in the USFL conference, the Houston team is not the Gamblers, it's the Roughnecks, but the USFL team basically took over the Roughnecks name. Doesn't make much sense to me, but you're going to have an XFL conference and a USFL conference, and basically the two conferences will meet for the championship at the end of the year, but I don't know, man. Spring league football, it's not the same anymore. When the XFL first originated, or the second iteration, when in 2020, it definitely felt like it was going to stick. I thought it was going to, in my opinion. Unfortunately, things happen in our world. Things started to shut down, and that kind of also had to shut down as well. But it hasn't been the same since then. Nobody cares about spring football. It's just, outside of maybe like St. Louis or a few teams, it's right. It's just not the same. It's not the same.
It's not. Well, one thing I will say that I liked was the Arena Football League. I thought it was a lot more interesting. Even though it's obviously half the field, you're talking about 50-yard line. I just thought, to me, I liked it. I thought it was more entertaining. Plus, you can get in for $10. You really couldn't beat it. And granted, it was high scoring again because you're only going 25 yards, down 25 yards, boom, you're in for the touchdown. And some guys took some hits. There wasn't much on the field, and you could see some guys, getting racked up the way they were. So,
and the Arena Football League's coming back, by the way. That's actually, they rejuvenated or revived, if you will, the Arena Football League. So that's kind of an exciting thing as well coming here in 2024 is that the Arena Football League is back. And I think they're going to have about 20 teams maybe in the league. They're going to have a pretty healthy amount of teams in their kind of first iteration back, if you will. Although the Arena Football League, it feels like it comes back and forth a lot of times. So I don't think this is the first time it's came back. So
no, I don't think so. Penguin Z says football fans become baseball fans during spring and summertime, which is true.
That's true.
And it's right around the corner. You know, pitchers and catchers repeat repeat. Yeah. How about
they do repeat. They technically do.
They do. But they report instead of repeat here in about, a month and a couple of days. It's not that far away.
Yeah, about a month. Yeah, February, usually around Valentine's Day is when pitchers and catchers will report. Sometimes you see guys even coming in like a week early just to get extra work in and get ready for the season. So we're going to have guys coming in probably the beginning of February. So it's going to be a very busy time for baseball.
It will be. Penguin Z says, what up, Arizona Rattlers? Arena football champs, it's true. So are my Philly team. Just saying. Back-to-back champions when the league ended.
And they'll be back. They'll be back.
I hope so.
They're coming back. No, it's official.
Are they?
They are coming back.
So Bon Jovi's going to be involved again?
I don't know if Bon Jovi will be involved, but they'll definitely be back. So they already announced that Philadelphia will have a team and they will be the sole. So
sweet. All right. Well, they will be the defending arena champs when they bring it back to back. That was a lot of fun. Again, what Super Bowl can, even though, yes, it's the arena version, but it was still the same thing. $10. You couldn't beat it. Once again, Penguin AZ, February 13th through 15th, pitchers and catchers. All right, there you go. But yeah, even with the Phillies, last year, remember, because they went to the World Series, a lot of guys did show up a week prior because they wanted to get that extra time in before everyone had to actually report. So, and you get someone like Bryce Harper, who, for the first time since 2019, maybe earlier than that, 2018, it's the first time he's been able to do his off-season regimen the way he's been doing it for years. After the injuries and everything else. And I guess he's going to stay at first base coming next season. So anyways, but if you guys missed it, it was again in Wisconsin, getting defeated by LSU. Again, great turnout, great fan base. There was a lot of good folks out there, a lot of people on the beach. I mean, I think that the beach bash was definitely a lot of fun. If you stand in the band's way, as my producer was telling me, they will run you over. Thankfully, I was just off enough. And you guys can check it out on Instagram. I had it going live there. But it was fun. A couple of guys jumped in front of the camera to kind of do a little scary thing, but that was a good time.
That or they'll blow a tuba right in your face. One of the two.
Yeah. That is true. Penguin AZ says, I will say the Phoenix Coyotes might be the Diamondbacks of hockey. Watch out. The Yotes are playing great. Penguin AZ brings up a great point because it was not that long ago that the Coyotes may have been going to Hartford, Connecticut from when it was talked. So it's a good thing they're hanging around. Hopefully we'll see. I mean,
the question is what happens if they make it to the Cup and then they have that little tiny arena that they're playing in. Can you imagine the ticket prices for that, Angel? There would be like thousands of dollars.
Probably.
Thousands.
Yeah. Nice cheerleader action too. Yeah, it was good interview with the cheer, as they didn't call themselves the cheerleaders. They were with the band. I knew this, but no matter what, you're still cheering the crowd. So you may not be officially on the cheer squad, but nonetheless, the girls were fun. And I even got Dylan to take a picture of the girls. There are going to be some great pictures that were taken by Dylan as we covered it on Beach Day. That'll be on the website. I will post out on social media when I get that lined up. Also, an article that Dylan's wrapping up as far as to talk about the experience of the entire weekend. So look for that. I'm going to have a special section on broadstsouth.com. And then I will make sure I tweet it out so you guys can check it out. He took some amazing pictures. I will say, I gave Dylan a hard time because he knows I love him to death. But I gave him a hard time because I got to push him. And I was egging him and I was pushing him and telling him, come on, just get in here. Just talk to these folks. But the ladies were really nice. They were a great crowd. I will say the girls that we ran into in the band team, it was fun. That was a fun interview. It was such a great weekend overall.
Yeah, no, it was. It was a really great weekend. The Reliaquest Bowl did a great job, or Reliaquest, or whoever the title group, if you will, or the people who run it, did a fantastic job with it. They really made it like a great experience, from the hospitality room that they had offered for the media to, all the events that they did out throughout the week. It really was a great experience. And hey, hopefully here in a week or two, we'll be able to cover the Hula Bowl. We'll get our hula skirts out and we'll have a luau out there in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, or at UCF. Never know. We'll see what happens. Penguin AZ says, Dylan, did you party with them after? Haha, it's all right. No need to answer.
We'll hush on that one there.
No, it was a good time, man. And I can't thank him enough. Obviously, you guys look over my shoulder here. On this side here is the Reliaquest Bowl helmet that was handed to myself and to Dylan with the credentials, everything. It was just, I will say they did an excellent job the way they handled everything. So it was just very, very top notch. Penguin AZ says, I just Googled Dylan and Wisconsin cheerleaders, and there's a lot of images.
Yeah, I don't know where those must be fake, photoshopped. Sure.
Could be, possibly. Anyways, after the break, we'll get into a couple of more things here, as yes, baseball season is not that far away. Obviously, the NFL and the teams that played, those who are in, those who are out, and we'll figure out what you guys believe who will be the MVP so far for the NFL. It looks like right now Lamar Jackson could possibly be leading that vote count for the MVP. So after the break, we'll get into a little bit more. Don't forget, the phone lines are open at 844-644-TONY, 844-644-8669. So after the break, we'll get into a little bit more, and there might be, just saying, don't shoot the messenger. There may be some Christmas music. Penguin, I love you, brother. Appreciate it. Great stuff, fellas. Love this show. Believe me, we love you guys right back, because without you guys, this wouldn't be happening right now. So Penguin AZ, I appreciate it. So after the break, as the break's coming up, you guys might be hearing Driving Home for Christmas. The Christmas music will be phased out. Miss Robin, when she comes back. Right now, I know a lot of folks don't like to personally hear it, but yeah, it's okay. So we'll get into some Christmas jingle, and then after that, we'll be right back here at Martinez Company. Dylan, fill in right now for Rich Quinones. The bottom of the hour, we'll talk to you right after this.
You know I got a break.
You're listening to Martinez and Company.
That's right.
On the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
See those faces. I'm driving home for Christmas, yeah. Well, I'm moving down that line, and it's been so long, but I will be there. I sing this song to pass the time away. Driving in my car, driving home for Christmas. It's gonna take some time, but I'll get there. Top to toe in tailbacks. Oh, I got red lights all around, but soon there'll be a freeway. Get my feet on holy ground. So I'll sing for you, though you can't hear me when I get through, and feel you near me. I'm driving home for Christmas. Driving home for Christmas, with 1,000 memories. I take a look at the driver next to me. He's just the same, just the same. memories. Take a look at the driver next to me. He's just the same. He's driving home, driving.
Now, back to Martinez and Company
It's always playing in my car.
on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Si el ritmo te lleva a mover la cabeza, ya empezamos como es. Mi música no discrimina a nadie, así que vamos a romper. Toda mi gente se mueve. Mira el ritmo como los tiene. Hago música que entretiene. El mundo nos quiere, me quiere a mí. Toda mi gente se mueve. Mira el ritmo como los tiene. Hago música que entretiene. Mi música los tiene fuerte bailando y se baila así.
Discoteca, la fiesta no para apenas comienza. C'est comme si, c'est comme ça, ma chérie. La 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 la. Francia, Colombia, me gusta. Freeze. J Balvin, Willy William, me gusta. Freeze. Los DJ no
Welcome back
mienten,
here
les
to
gusta
the
mi
fourth
gente,
quarter
y
of
eso
Martinez
se
and Company. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in from 6 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. Of course, this week is a very condensed week at Martinez and Company as we had the holiday. Happy New Year's to all here as it passed over on Monday. Welcome to 2024. We hope that everyone has a very blessed, thankful, grateful, and humbled 2024. And whatever you wish for, I hope that it all comes true for you here in this year. It's going to be a great year. I feel it no matter what. I like to laugh and joke around and stuff like that. But you know what? In the end, it's all about making sure that we can all enjoy ourselves as much as we possibly can, because that's what life's all about, making sure we're all taking care of one another. Penguin AG says, even the wife started dancing. Let's go. All right. That's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. I extended a little bit. I know the producer walked in. She goes like, come on. All right. That's enough. But listen, it's, again, about having fun, enjoying ourselves. And we had some Christmas music, so I extended a little bit of the Spanish music. And, of course, you guys, for those who don't know, I am Puerto Riqueño. Love it. Absolutely. Here in America, of course. So I'm American, Spanish descent, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Love it. I represented my country for many, many years, and I appreciate it. Started with my family, so I do love this country of ours. And to this day, it is still the great nation in the world, no matter what anybody says. Anyways, getting to a couple things. ¿Qué pasa, papi? Now, listen, nada, except for the show at this point. But Belichick, I guess, had a little company, a little comedic factor. Also, I before I get into that one, which I thought it was interesting, because the NFL had fined Panthers owner David Tepper $300,000 after he threw a drink towards a Jaguars fan from the luxury box. Come on, bro. You already know your team is become unglued to the point where no one really wants to interview for the job. And I mean nobody. And now you're doing this nonsense. What do you think? If you think it's bad in Jacksonville, that might mean mini Philadelphia. Go up to Philly. You might be throwing the chairs, the tables, the buffet. What else? Your ticket stub. What? I mean,
Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if the fans got you and you're at a Jacksonville game, not taking anything away from Jacksonville, because Jacksonville, they're loud and proud. They are a loud bunch in Jacksonville, representing very well there on the top side of Florida. But how can you be dumb enough and not even think about, first of all, you're an NFL owner. And to me, $300,000 is pocket change. That's like 30 cents coming out of his pocket for the most part. Your team is an abysmal mess, and then you add this. So I would love to know, if I'm on that ride back on the plane or the bus or the train, however way they got back home, more than likely be on a plane ride. But how are you just looking at this like, can we get any more negative light to our team, to our organization, where no one really wants to come here? You guys remember Jacksonville was the biggest joke. After Cleveland started straightening up, then it was Jacksonville. Everybody said everyone went to Jacksonville to retire and or die with their NFL career. Doug P comes in, now it's away from Jacksonville, and now it's shifted to Carolina. And even the Carolina fans were saying that they were upset. They really wanted to kind of walk away from things, and they didn't want to show up at the team events, and they wanted to just not do anything whatsoever. And then you do something that's stupid. And it, according to the NFL, when they released a statement, apparently this morning, they said, quote, the National Football League fined Carolina Panthers chairman David Tepper $300,000 for his unacceptable conduct in Jacksonville during Sunday's game. The statement reads, again, quote, all NFL personnel are expected to conduct themselves at all times in ways that respect our fans and favorably reflect upon their team and the NFL. I am deeply passionate about this team. Let me go back. Now this is Tepper, his quote, as he says, I am deeply passionate about this team and regret my behavior on Sunday. The statement reads, I should have left the NFL security handle any issues that arose. I respect the NFL's code of conduct and accept the league's discipline for my behavior. Okay, listen. Apparently, a box adjacent to him, and it was recorded in video, a frustrated Tepper seeming tossing the contents of his cup out the window of his box and slamming the cup down on a bar before walking out of the view of the camera. It's really dumb. If the fans get to you that bad, what does that show to me as an owner if one of your players comes in and something's going on in his life personally, and that's how you handle situations? Now, in the heat of the moment, whether it be myself, Dylan, Rich, Penguin AZ, Joey B, or anybody else, would anybody make a big doo-doo about nothing? Not really. Why? Because we're not in the limelight. We're not, league owners. We're not, big broadcast owners. None of that stuff. So the worst that can happen is, isn't that guy with Martinez Company and in phony spin might put out a bigger thing than what it is? And that's about it. But you're an NFL owner. You're supposed to be respectful and cordial no matter what ends up happening. You're supposed to know a lot better. So I don't get it. It's just dumb on his behalf. I don't know what you can tell your team, because in all honesty, I mean, Dylan, can you really think about anyone at this point that truly wants to head coach that team?
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. Yeah, it's a bad look for the Panthers, and it's a bad look for David Tepper, and obviously he's already on like thin ice, I feel like, with a lot of the fans. I don't know what the teams, what their thoughts are. Obviously, it's hard because you got to represent the team. It's I think as a player, the team comes first, and obviously you don't want to lose your job over saying something negative about the owner or anything in that nature. But it's a joke, man. It is an absolute joke. It's kind of funny. Me and my buddy, one of my friends, made a song about the incident that happened. I did an AI cover, or I had AI create lyrics of David Tepper throwing a drink at a man, and we made a song over it. And he did it with Bohemian Rhapsody's instrumental in the background. So I'm gonna have to send that over to you after the show's over. But yeah, it's a joke, man. It's Carolina, it's a shame because they got a really great quarterback in Bryce Young. I still think Bryce Young's a great quarterback. It's just I think he's in the wrong place. Carolina, I don't know what they're doing right now. They fired, I believe it's 3 or 4 NFL head coaches, 3 or 4 MLS coaches. They fired a MLS coach in like 2 months into the season in their first inaugural season last year. The team is just a mess, and David Tepper's running all that to the ground. So
yes,
unfortunately.
Yes. Penguin EZ says, I do own a share of the Packers, but yes, I am somewhat cordial. Ha, yes. Don't we all wish that we had a piece of that one? And follows up with Joe Barry should go coach the Panthers. Ha, he sucks as a defensive coordinator. Yeah, might not be a bad idea. And then follows up with also, but that's my opinion. You know what they say about opinions. Yep, I do know what they say about them. But anyway, again, it's dumb. It's a dumb look. You brought more negative attention to your team that already had enough negative stuff going on. Now you need to find a way to turn around and spin it. But the other story that also kind of caught my eye says that Bill Belichick won't discuss future with the Patriots, but jokes he'll share any news on My Face. Now, of course, if you guys look at it, right, it used to be MySpace. There's also OnlyFans, all that other fun stuff. But what he meant by that was obviously the expression on his face. He never gives anything away. It's always the same expression. So that's what he talked about. But he truthfully, he didn't share much of anything. All he knows is at the time, and he did get an extension. everybody knows this with the Patriots, but there's been rumors saying that they would trade him to DC for obviously a draft pick, and then DC would have to pick up that extension part of his contract. I mean, that's one guy that could probably go anywhere at that point. And I don't even think Belichick, and the experience in the championships that he had, I don't even believe that he can't even go to the Panthers and straighten them out. That's how bad I think it is out there in Carolina.
And I don't think he would want to go to the Panthers anyways. I think Belichick will only go to a team if it's the right fit. I mean, looking at the way the head coaching outlook is right now, it's tough, you know. I mean, Washington's a team where, I'll be honest, I like Ron Rivera. Like, I don't know why get rid of Ron Rivera. I mean, he's up there in regards to coaches that are respectable and you can respect the amount of work that they've done. Ron Rivera is up there with Belichick. I mean, he's probably one of the more respectable head coaches, and I think he probably will stay in Washington. I do think he appreciates that team, and I think he enjoys coaching that team. But in regards to Belichick, I mean, maybe LA, maybe the Chargers. I mean, go out west and kind of, try that out. But I just don't know where Belichick may fit. It's a tough situation right now. I don't really know. It's hard not to see him in the Patriots, in the Patriots colors. And I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he just ends up, hanging up the coaching clipboard or whatever, the headset. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing out different ideas here. And, I was hearing reports about Chicago, maybe. I feel like he would be somebody that probably would go to one of these northern teams. So that just seems like, where he would end up going. He just seems like a northern football team type of guy.
Yeah. Mike Klein, the great Mike Klein from Philly to South. He says, "Oh no, we suck again, LOL. Yes, we do, Mikey. Yes, we do." David Burns, watching from Cedar Hill, Texas. David, I appreciate you from tuning in from Texas. We all know, listen, Texas are home of the Cowboys and the Texans, and the Cowboys are making noise. So I can't take that away from. But David, I appreciate you from tuning in from Cedar Hill. Penguin AZ says, "I think Ron has lost the team." Yeah, he's done. He's done. The problem is does Belichick, does he go there? We also know that what's the name? Bieniemy supposedly was supposed to be the one taking over. I'm wondering, that's going to be a good thing, because I want to see what's going to happen with Bieniemy if Belichick ends up getting traded to DC. What Bieniemy's going to end up doing. I think when you talked about one of the other teams, I think Belichick would do well in San Diego, and he can get that team turned around. But I think Mike Tomlin will be a lot better in Chicago. Just bring that up there. But I'm going to get
another team too, potentially maybe even the Jets. But I know he would have a similar situation with Brady, kind of a Brady situation with Rodgers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he would want to go into division. Another team, maybe the Giants. If the Giants get rid of Dable, do you maybe potentially see him go to the Giants? That could be an interesting one as well. Kind of northern team, maybe try to get that team. I don't really know. Belichick, I think, needs to, at his age, where he's at now in his career, he needs to go to a team that is on the verge of getting success. And I think the Chargers honestly do make the most sense from what Joey B's comment says here in the comments. I think that's might be the best spot for him.
Yeah, he says, how about Belichick to Alabama? Defensive coordinator, coaching and waiting to take over for Saban. It's a good point. I really never thought about that one. That's a good point by Joey B. Would he go to the Vikings? The Vikings might change coach. I don't know if the Vikings would change their coach. Supposedly they're saying they want to bring him back for another year. That wouldn't be a bad fit either. Vikings wouldn't be. The Vikings are there. The Vikings are very, very close to contending. So Absolutely. That might not be a bad situation. It may not be. Joey B also says Belichick to the Chargers make the most sense, though. And that is very true. David says that Cowboys game was really close and luck. The penalty sealed the deal. Yeah, we had mentioned it at the very top of the show, David, when we talked about it. Lions, bad call. The ref admitted to it after it was all said and done. But yeah, I mean, listen, it was a hard-fought game between Dallas and Detroit. So, and I wouldn't expect any less. I think it was probably one of the better games of the weekend, for sure. Penguin AZ says, welcome back, Joey B. Joey B, in return, says, Tomlin to the Bears. Devin Studio B has hope. Yeah, that is true. Listen, even I'm sorry. And just in my own opinion here, if you're a head coach picked in the NFL, you never go with a safe hire. You're going with that guy who's coming in there. He's taking control of that room. When he walks in, he wants full control. Eberflus is one of those guys like, hi, Dylan. Hi, Angel. Are you guys okay? Have you guys eaten? Because, I'm a little parched myself, and I just want to know if you guys want to come join me. You can't. You got to be that guy that goes in there and grabs everybody by the helmet, right with a face mask. Are you playing for me? What is your position? What is your role? That's what they're going to need. And I think Mike Tomlin is that guy that I believe that could take the Bears finally to the promised land where they haven't been back there in many, many years. Tomlin to Bears equals Deb cashing in on Delta points and hotel points in Chicago 8 to 9 times a year. You might be right. You might be right, as we are frequent flyers here. Penguin HG says like a 4th grade teacher. Yeah. Yep. It's, again, a lot of things that happen. We know it. I mean, there's definitely a lot of coaches that are going to be let go. Dable to be let go, Dylan, from the Giants. I mean, it wouldn't. I don't know, man. I think he would stay away from both New York teams. I don't think he would go down there.
Yeah, I just kind of threw it out there. I think the Jets might be a longer shot than the Giants. There's a couple other teams that I could see, firing their coach. I think Vrabel is one from Tennessee. I think that he's probably done after this year. I'm trying to think everybody who else in regards to coaches, maybe their time may be up. We'll see. I mean, Arizona. I don't know about Arizona's coach. I don't. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. I mean, you remember Monday's the big day. Mondays, they call it Black Friday in terms of the coaching firing. So, so we'll have to wait and see until Monday and see who will be out of a job here heading in, or maybe even Sunday, because sometimes they'll even announce like minutes after a game that a coach is fired. So we'll see who ends up getting fired here on Sunday and Monday.
I think it's going to be a lot of coaches and GMs are going to be both let go at the same time. David Burns says, yes, Bears need a coach like Tomlin. Agreed. I think it'll actually turn that organization around. Joey B says, my Giants aren't going to get rid of Dable. Verdict's still out. 3 more seasons he gets approved. They can improve with a healthier roster and a QB. Listen, Giants are also not that far away as well. Joey B knows, even though he's in Colorado, but he loves his Giants. And same thing. I mean, Danny Dimes, no, I don't think he's a quarterback future. I'm not too. I could be wrong, but there's a ton of them. Again, you can get someone like Mordecai to come in until you guys find the right fit. But in the meantime, fill other holes that you may end up needing. So it's just a lot of food for thought. But anyways, as we are coming up here towards the end of the show, as it quickly went through tonight, I can't thank you guys. David Burns, thank you also for tuning in here late in the show from Cedar Hill, Texas. I do appreciate it. Joey B, Penguin AZ. Obviously, Get a Grip, who coincidentally happens to be on the other side of the screen here. I'm just saying, I don't know, it may happen. But anyways, thanks for Dylan filling in for Rich. Rich is calling in a fight tonight. And we thank you guys for always coming in and helping out with the show and making us laugh as well. Joey B with the last comment here before we sign off. Angel Dylan, what's the head coach status there in Tampa? That's a good job still, right? Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. We'll see. I think if the Bucs make it to the playoffs, got to give credit to Todd Bowles and the team on making it to the playoffs with Baker, I think, and especially in the first year. I think Todd Bowles, if he can win on Sunday and he can get in, I think he keeps the job over there in Tampa. I mean, I know they had the same record last year, but I don't see why they would get rid of him. I mean, at the end of the day, they make it to the playoffs again. They win the NFC South. I know it's not a very good division, but we're also not a very good team. So I think that's probably where I'm at right now with the coaching status there.
All right, and before we get booted off here, don't forget Pete Shepard in the morning from 7 to 10 a.m., Tifo and Luby from 10 to 12, followed by the best of from 12 to 3. The Tony Bruno Show and Miss Robin should be back tomorrow, depending on how Miss Robin feels, from 3 to 6 p.m. Martinez Company right back with you guys at 6 to 8 p.m. And then AJ and the Bleacher Brothers will be on right after us. Again, they're former Cowboys running back, former Dolphins running back as well. Gerald White will be on right after us here at 8 o'clock. Last thing to get in here. Thanks again, Joey B, for content in the show. Great job as usual. Thank you. And Penguin AZ to get you before I get cut off here. I think love will be just like Brett Favre and crew. So, yeah, I want to make sure I squeeze it in. And don't forget, we'll be back here right here tomorrow night, 6 to 8 p.m. Thank you, guys. We love you. Happy New Year's to everyone. We do appreciate you all. And, wow, I'm kind of surprised. It didn't boot me out right exactly at 7:55. Well, you know what? We might be able to squeeze in just 50 more seconds. But no, listen, thanks you guys once again. Sometimes we end up with a bonus show. There is another show after this one. Again, AJ Johnson. And there will be another show over on Broad Street South. Ryan's college football show will be on there at 8:30 this evening. So you guys want to stop by, say hello over there. You guys can stop by and say hello to Ryan. Other than that, yeah. Dylan, once again, thank you, sir, for working your butt off over the weekend. I do appreciate you being out there with me over Reliaquest Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. And go check out all my stuff as well with Gritty Grip. We got racing here coming up with the Rolex 24 in Daytona, and the motocross season starts this week. I'm going to be a busy, busy camper here with racing. So yeah, looking forward to what's to come here in 2024.
Yeah, no, that's true. All right, listen, this time I'm pretty sure we're going to get kicked off. So thank you all. Good night. Don't drink and drive. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio. He perfected it.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like...
Thank you, Penguin AZ. I do appreciate it. I might have to, hold on. I might have to go back in. Just give me 1 second, folks.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first...
Okay. All right. Hopefully I didn't screw up AJ there. I had to make sure that got out. Sometimes when you end up exiting out of a show, what will end up happening is it'll kind of fast forward. I want to make sure I didn't screw that up for AJ. But anyways, thank you guys. Penguin AZ says, awesome show. I do appreciate it, Penguin AZ. And listen, we'll be right back with you guys tomorrow night. Again, I can't do this without you guys. I do appreciate you all. The same way that Penguin AZ says it. And the reason why we do it is because I love doing this. It's my dream. It's been my passion. And without all you guys tuning in every single week, I missed it. I'll be honest, for that week off, even though Dylan and I were busy last week, either way, it's a lot. So Penguin AZ says, thanks for always making claim of making our own comments known. Listen, you're absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome. Because that's the way when I used to listen to broadcast shows, and I would hear people calling in, and towards the latter part of some of the shows, when they finally started going on socials, I will say that I kind of felt like when they didn't put the person's comments up there, it was kind of like, why didn't you guys put that? You guys saw the comment. Why didn't you throw it up there? Penguin AZ says, I missed it also. Listen, I did. Matter of fact, yesterday when I was getting things ready throughout the week and everything else, the new intro, in case you guys missed it, go back and watch the replay. We changed up the intro to make it more fun for you guys who watch on the social medias. And if you listen in on the network app, you guys, you'll just have to go back and watch the visual. Miss Robin and I and Tony, Pete, when we all first got started, we were doing a lot of testing and stuff. And Miss Robin, to make sure everything was running fine, at one point she did say, hey, Angel, do you have any intro music? And then you can hear Tony slightly saying in the background as well. And I said, yeah, I'm just trying to, and at the time I was trying to get things adjusted here in the studio to make sure that everything sounded and looked good. And then Pitbull was the first thing on my mind. That's what I felt, kind of like the Spanish Latin flavor. And to get you pumped up, because at 6 in the evening, let's be real here, a lot of times we're burnt out. For me, I start my day at 3:30 in the morning. So when that song comes on at 6 p.m., it's game time, baby. And that's why I kind of changed it up. So if you guys missed the beginning of it, once this ends, you guys can go back, watch the replay, and then you'll see what I'm talking about in the beginning part of the show. And it means a lot. Believe me, when you guys tune in, when you guys make your comments, when you guys send your texts, I know AJ in San Antonio, I think he was taking a break tonight. I didn't get a text from him this evening. But when you guys make these comments, trust me, I love it and appreciate it, because it means that we're doing a good job enough to bring you guys back. So for everyone that hangs around after Tony Bruno, I can't thank you guys enough. So with that being said, I'm going to end the show this evening. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Penguin AZ with the last comment here of the evening says, have a great evening. Let's go Packers. Have a great night all. Definitely indeed. By the way, says I can get, and Dylan, I'll get your comment too before I end it here and we switch over. Penguin AZ, I'm going to bring up his comment before we end it, because I want to make sure I do him right here. As he says, and I'll bring it back up here, where he says, is Love on the same path of being the Packers quarterback for the next 10 years as Favre and Rodgers did? I know you didn't get a chance to answer that.
No, you're good. I'll keep it quick. I'm going to say no. Yeah, I don't think he's on the same path. I love Love. I think he's going to be a really solid quarterback, but I don't know if he's going to be the same caliber as a Favre or Rodgers, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think he's going to be a good quarterback, in my opinion.
All right. I mean, I think he can be there with the right QB coach. I think with Matt LaFleur, I think he can definitely guide him in the right direction. I mean, he started making that turn around. So we'll see. All right. And Penguin G says we can talk next time. Definitely indeed. So thank you all. Sure. Appreciate it. We're going to be switching things over to Broad Street South. So thank you so much. And we will talk to everyone tomorrow. Don't forget, don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. And everyone just enjoy their night. Wait a minute. I just bypassed by something. Where was it? I bypassed it. I sure did. Where'd it go? It went away somewhere. Where'd it go? It's here somewhere.
Take your time.
Well, apparently now, because I had something set up here. Maybe not. All right. Well, anyways, I'll bring it back to this one here. Maybe I didn't load it up correctly. So anyways, thank you all. Again, appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow evening. Angel Martinez, Dylan Spaulding filling in for Rich Quinones, and we will talk to you all tomorrow night. Enjoy yourselves and have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.